New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? It's Ellis from the Nick of Time show here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about this Knicks loss to the Portland Trailblazers. This Knicks lost 116-113. It was a thriller at the end, even though it didn't start out that way. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the game, let me introduce my fellas, all right? First and foremost, you know what it is. It's the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building.
Damn right he's in this building, all right? And you also know who this man is, KOT Rookie of the Year, new installment to the KOT show. My man from one YouTube channel over, it's the Raw Metaphor, the Raw Hebrew Remnant. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, my man? What's up, Ryan? Good to see you.
Yeah, man. I'm ready to get to it, man. So this game, it's been an up and down road trip so far, guys. I expected it. I'm not gonna lie, I did expect it because these teams are a little bit tough, but we showed some fight. But here's the thing: we were down early in the first quarter. Knicks allowed 37 points in the first quarter. This is the most we've allowed in the first quarter. We were actually down by 20. But the largest lead was 35, but we actually ended up coming back and losing a close one in the end. So, Raw, tell me, what did you see? Why did you think the game out turned the way it did?
Well, a couple of things. Portland came out on if it was a boxing match, they came out in the first round and punched us in the mouth, right? So they came out heavy off the thing. Now, of course, we also know that Portland had not played in 5 days, so they were well rested. We were on our third game in 4 nights, not trying to make an excuse, but you got to figure we had some fatigue going on.
Yeah, so I think Dame in particular came out really rested.
So our Dame came out like playoff Dame killer, So that was what started the game. And by the time we figured it out, got the butterflies out our head, we started with 21 points down.
Yeah, you're right about that. We were 21 points down and clawing our way back. So you tell me what you saw from this game, Ryan?
Well, basically, it was just, to me, the tale of two halves. Like Ross said, in the first half, the Blazers came and punched the Knicks in the mouth. They looked very energetic. Like, they looked like they were ready to play. Like, on defense, their zone defense was crazy. It was like they were all over the place. The Knicks couldn't find any open shots, any open lanes, or anything like that. So it was hard for them to score.
Defense.
Yeah, of course, the zone defense. Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, the Blazers just had hot shooting. Like, it was like they couldn't miss. It's like every shot they took, it was just going in. And I mean, when a team is, getting you on the defensive end, going after you on the defensive end, then on top of that, they're not getting all the shots. That makes it difficult for you to, find your footing and come back in the game. So Blazers just came out with mad energy, and then from then on, that was it. Knicks tried to climb back in the second half, but they were already too far down.
You know what else? I'll say this for the Knicks. It was apparent that Dame came on the mission. Like the first half, he didn't miss anything. I think he didn't miss a free throw. He didn't miss a 3-pointer. He didn't miss a field goal the entire first half, which is like he was 100% on everything. I think it was ridiculous.
And EP was doing a good job on him. He was all on him.
Yeah,
and this guy was hitting some ridiculous shots.
That's
why I thought they should have doubled him in the first half. They should have started doubling him, get the ball out of his hand, because that's a one guy. Like Dame is on the same level as Curry, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He can win a game for you by himself. So you didn't. It's like back in the day when Dr. J was in his prime. There was a rule when he first came to the NBA from the ABA. There was a rule: if he hit 2 in a row, call timeout.
Well, you be calling timeout all night with that.
Yeah. So I'm saying, but you got to devise a plan to get the ball out of his hand. So Dame was killing us. The first half, he was killing us, man.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because it was apparent by the time the third and fourth quarter came that we had to double him, and that's how we got back into the game. We started to kind of trap him. As soon as he passed half court, we had to trap him, and And once we started doing that, the game started to turn for us. And I also wanted that too, Ro. I was just like, man, maybe should we have done that earlier? Or was Tom just trying to save that, ace in the hole for the end? You know what I mean?
I think it looked to me he wanted to. I guess maybe he went to EP and EP said, "No, I can handle him," and may let EP try to handle him. But when you started seeing him hitting threes, that was ridiculous. Like he wasn't even squared to the basket.
No, it was crazy.
And EP would just be all on him, and it just wasn't enough. So what I saw in the second half, you saw Julius, which I did like this. Julius would sprint up, double him with whoever was guarding him, whether it was EP, he double him, and three-quarter court, he's giving the ball up. And then Julius would sprint back to where he needed to be, and then when he crossed that court, they get back on him. So that's I don't know, maybe they were conserving the energy, but
maybe.
It looked like nobody's business in that second half. And if you look at the team stats, the Knicks, if you look at the stats, the Knicks should have won this game.
Let's pause for a second. This episode was brought to you by Manscaped. All right, fellas, Valentine's Day is on the way. You want to make sure down there is clean, fair, and square. Manscaped Trimmer 2.0. It does not nick your knickers. It doesn't grab your hairs. It has an LED light, so you can see what's going on down there. It's waterproof and is guaranteed to make your lady happy. All right, so definitely pick up the Trimmer 2.0. And also my personal recommendation, and Ryan backs me up, the ball deodorant.
Exactly. I've been using the ball deodorant since even before this whole sponsorship. I've been using the ball deodorant. It works great. It works well. The ladies, if that moment comes, the ladies go down there and they're satisfied. It smells nice and good, so go get you some.
Go get you some. All right.
Yeah.
Man, go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code KOT. All right, that is 20% off and free shipping with code KOT if you go to manscaped.com. And you know what? If you trim down there, send all before and after pictures to Ryan's Gmail account at Ryan. Okay,
No.
All right, never mind. KOT, that is the code. Yeah, because we had a lot of we out rebounded those guys. We shot well. The fourth quarter, IQ scored 21 points by himself in the fourth quarter. We had a lot of good stats that should translate to wins. And stuff that we usually bat 41% from three. Usually bad from three.
Yeah.
So 113 points overall. We usually don't even score that much.
Right. But see, all of those stats show, okay, if you looked at these stats without looking at the score, the Knicks won this game. You just look at this
92% from the free throw line, 12 turnovers.
Out rebounding them, out offensive rebounding them, only had 12 turnovers. I mean, you look at them stats, you say, we won. We shot 41% from three. We won. And Quickley scored 31. We won the game.
We won the game. Okay. Now, especially considering that, a lot of these games, it's been Julius needs help. And then what happens? RJ Barrett starts to pick up. And now these two have been consistently giving us 20 points a game. This game, RJ Barrett goes down, but IQ picks up the slack. Alec Burks comes in with 18 points. So you're thinking, we're in a recipe to win this game. But I will say this. I do feel like there's been. I feel like there were certain tactical miscues during this game that happened for me personally, and it's hard for me to criticize Tom Thibodeau because he's done such a good job with this team. We basically have mostly the same team we had last year to this year, and we're a top defensive team in the league. So any criticism I have about Tom Thibodeau is still kind of met with praise at this point, right? Because it's like Fizdale could never, right? So, but I will say this: one of the tactical things that I feel like Tom does to a fault sometimes is he takes out the hot man. Too often.
He has a rotation and he'll stick to it regardless.
Yeah.
And I don't think he can do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
case in point, and Ryan, we're gonna argue about this later.
Alright.
Me and Ryan were arguing over Twitter.
Yeah.
But case in point, there was in the second quarter, the Knicks started to make their comeback. Alec Burks started getting hot.
Yeah, he took him out.
Mhm.
He took him out. Yeah, two people stopped Alec Burks that night: Tom Thibodeau and Elfrid Payton.
That's it. Because Burke was killing. Burke was killing, man. He only got 9 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say this though. I didn't like his rotations in the Portland game because usually what Tom Thibodeau does is he lets, the starters play a certain amount of minutes in the first quarter, and then he'll insert like Quickley or somebody like that, in the first quarter. Usually by the end of the first quarter, it's mainly the bench players on the court going into the second quarter. I feel like, because I think he left Julius Randle into the whole first quarter, which I really don't have a problem with because Julius Randle is one of our best players.
Mm-hmm.
But he left Elfrid Payton there in the first quarter. Elfrid Payton was not playing good, and I felt like he should have took him out earlier in that first quarter and had Quickley in there, to see if they could try to like weather the storm or whatever the case may be. So I think like if I have to criticize Tom Thibodeau a bit, like his rotations in the Portland game, I didn't like too much, but
yeah, and that's been my critique of Tom all season so far, is that he has a quicker hook on the rookies than the vets, and he'll ride the not even just the hook, he'll ride the hot wave of Payton in the starting unit, but won't ride the hot wave of the second unit. I think that's
true. Though. If
Yeah.
Payton is coming out scoring, he's not coming out the game. If
Right.
he's scoring and we're ahead, he's not coming out the game. He's going to stay in the game. He trusts the vet, no
Right.
question.
yeah.
But it was surprising to me that he did take out, because like when Quickley was in the game, if you notice, it was Quickley and the 4 other starters.
Yeah.
He did not. He only replaced EP with Quickley, and Quickley stayed. So I thought maybe he should have kept Burke in there because Burke was unstoppable. I mean, they couldn't do nothing with him. And so I was like, shoot, they keep Burks in there because he's killing, man. Because he was doing to us what Dame was doing to us. He was doing to them. So I was like, oh man, we got a battle going on. But there's a lot of those things like, I see that. But my overall thing is, to me, if we'd have just doubled Damian
earlier,
if we just started doubling him like from there and get the ball out of his hands, I think we wouldn't have been down by that much, going into the half.
Yeah, that's a solid point too, because if you're looking at the box score and stuff, I don't feel like anybody else was really killing us like that. Melo, he was kind of left open a few times. He wasn't hitting. He's only hit a few of his shots. Enes Kanter, he had a little stint.
Really, Simons and Trent were doing all right, but I would rather them beat me than Damian Lillard.
Right. And at the end of the game, we forced the ball out of Damian's hands. And you know what happens? Pressure bust pipes. Because those guys were hitting shots all willy-nilly the first quarter.
That's right.
When the game was on the line, none of that was happening. When it was like, all right, you make the play because Dame
That's
can't
why
get the ball.
I was watching the game and I'm like, I'm not worried because I know they're going to double Dame and these other cats ain't going to be able to keep it up because they just hot, so they ain't going to keep it up and we're going to come back. I wasn't worried about that, but when they did not double him, and then all of a sudden the third quarter they start doubling, it was driving me crazy because they were coughing the ball up like they was, they were coughing the ball up like crazy. I was like, why didn't we do that a quarter ago? Because if you have to come back, it's a big difference coming back from 21 down to say you're coming back from 15.
Yeah,
exactly. And that was a big thing. I do feel like we ran out of gas towards
the end. But we still should have won. They messed up on that Randall call at the end.
Oh yeah, that might be. I'm sorry, sound effect might hit this part. That was crazy.
yeah, they messed up. If they didn't mess up, if they had gave us that call, which they after the game they said, oh yeah, we should have gave you shots in the ball. We lost by 3.
Yeah. For those who didn't see that part of the game, at the end of the game, the Knicks were, I think, down 3. IQ was at the line. Enes Kanter rushes into Randall's shoulder, causing Randall to foul. I think it was Covington.
Yes,
next to him. And they called, that was his 6th foul, and they ejected him. They wanted to give Randall a flagrant foul.
Right.
And they took that back. They downgraded to a regular foul and ejected him. And when you looked at the tape, it was clear as day. So that's another thing. Is like, how do you look at the tape for that long and still get the call wrong? I just don't
I
get
think
it.
what happened. I think what happened, technically speaking, I think what happened is we had no timeout, so Thibodeau could not challenge the call. If he could
Mm,
challenge the call, I think they would have overturned the call. But he could not challenge it, and they made the call, so nobody was going to overturn it. They just would, at that point, I think legally, according to the rules, they couldn't overturn it.
Yeah.
Even though they should have just came back and said we made the wrong call.
right.
They didn't overturn it. Now, if Thibodeau had to come out to overturn it, that would have been the ball game. In that case, there was a strategic blunder a little bit on the coaching staff because you want to save a timeout at the end for that, but they didn't. So that's why we could not challenge. If we could challenge it, then I think it'd been a different ball game. But that I like that because even though we lost the game, look, we coming off 3 games in 4 nights. They rested, and they're a playoff team, and we fought them to the end. They squandered a 21-point lead on it.
They did.
So I think going forward, that bodes well for us when we
That
got to
does.
play going forward.
That definitely does. I think we can carry the momentum into Utah. But
Yeah.
another thing I want to point out too that was weird about that game was RJ Barrett's lack of minutes, and just we did not see him in the fourth quarter. That was something also weird. Like I know he got into foul trouble early, right? I think he had 2 fouls.
No, he only had 2. Yeah,
He had 2 quick fouls. Yeah, and we closed the game with Austin Rivers, who just got back from injury.
Yeah, he played a lot of minutes too.
Yeah.
Over RJ Barrett, who was
that was
having a fairly good game when he was in.
So what I'm saying is that Thibodeau is into flow. So when they started making their run, the kids that were out there was Rivers, IQ, Randall, Robinson, and Burks. So even though logically you would think RJ would fit better than Rivers, because the team that was out there that was making the run, he wasn't going to change that. He was just going to keep that crew out there because they made the run. RJ was. I'm not saying RJ had a bad game. I say that Portland keyed on RJ because they now gave him that respect. He only took 9 shots the whole game. So Thibodeau is going to go, and this is the thing I do like about him. If he's finding a squad is flowing at the end of the game, 3rd and 4th quarter, he's not going to take them out. He's going to keep that
4th quarter. He will stick to his guns.
Yeah.
And that's why Rivers happened to be in there when they made that run, and so that's why he kept them in the game.
Yeah. I almost think like was it a defensive thing as well because he felt like he can shadow Dame a little bit more.
Nah, because I think RJ is a better defender. I just think it was a flow. He was there when he made the run. Yeah, RJ is a better defender, I think, than Rivers. Rivers is a willing defender, but I think RJ is better right now.
Okay, so is anybody opposed to having RJ sit that long, or did you feel like that was weird, or are you cool with it?
No, I mean, from my standpoint, like, I think Thibodeau did the right thing because you're making the run with Quickley, Rivers, and Burks in the backcourt. So it's like if you're making a run with those guys, why are you going to really mess that up? So you stick with the guys that's on the court. And I feel like in that game, RJ Barrett, like, yeah, they did key on him a lot. And also I think that Barrett wasn't really aggressive enough in the game either. Like, Barrett was kind of passive in that game as well. So I think when you combine those 2 factors together, it made sense for Thibodeau to stick with those guys on the court because it's not like Barrett was having this amazing game where it's like, all right, we got to get him back in the game because, he's killing these guys. He was largely passive for the most part in that game. So, I have no problem with it. And I like the fact that he does stick with the hot hand. If he sees the guys playing well on the court, he keeps them on the court, especially in that 4th quarter. So I'm with it.
Yeah. Maybe to me, I felt like he was playing. He got into foul trouble. He sat a long time. I feel like when he was in the game, he started to score a little bit, and I do feel like, I don't know, man. I don't think Rivers was giving us that. He was like 1 for 3. Like he wasn't like he was aggressive. He had 3 points.
It had nothing to do with his production. It's just because he was out there when they made the run.
Yeah.
I don't think it had anything to do with his production. It's just like, and I noticed that, like, for example, let's look like Burke, right? He takes Burks out in the 2nd quarter when he's killing Portland, right? But in the 4th quarter, whatever that team is that's out there in the end of the 3rd and 4th that's making a run, he's going to stick with those guys. That's no matter who they are. So it wasn't. I don't think it was anything about Rivers playing better or Rivers being better than RJ because he's not. But It's just that Rivers was on the floor when they made the run, and he just didn't want to disrupt the flow.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Let's bring it back to another guy. We skated under something really big so far in this whole conversation. Immanuel freaking Quickley scores 31 points. Career high. Already. What the hell? Who is this kid? RJ hasn't even hit 30 yet. Quickley comes in, has a career high 31 points. 21 points in the fourth quarter alone. I hate asking this stupid question over and over again. I do. But I'm just like,
did you see Dame talking to him at the foul line?
Yeah, I saw that. They were talking like old buddies that went to school.
No, Dame was popping off at him and he was just smiling. He didn't want to answer back. Dame was popping off at him.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I said, Dame knows this kid's gonna be a problem.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I was on Twitter going off today. I'm just like, man.
Nah, because Dame knew. Dame was like, yo, you did that swipe, man. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, you should have been
like,
3 free throws. You did that swipe.
I was imagining saying, you're a rookie. You're not supposed to get that card.
Exactly.
Here's the thing about IQ, man. IQ studies, you can tell IQ loves basketball.
Yeah,
You can tell.
There's a joy with him when he's playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a joy when he's playing, and you can tell he studies it. He says he studies it. He offers that information openly over and over again. I study it. And then even when he's talking about his conversation with Dame, he goes, yeah, he was talking to me about the foul. He's one of my favorite players. I study him all the time. And then you look at him, and I feel like he's doing Dame's moves out there when I see him on the court. He was like, because he was dead. He was just like, yeah, I was studying how he was scoring on the court. And then he goes over 21. I'm just like, did he just do the hop step that Dame just did? Like, I'm like, are you like copy pasting his moves in game? Like,
two things, man. Two things I noticed about IQ. Okay. There's 2 things that he's going to improve that when he does, he's going to be an all-star. One thing, he likes to jump when he passes. If he stops that and learns how to pass out of a double team, which he's going to do.
He's going to.
He's going to be a problem. And then number 2, aside from that, he just has to improve his defense, which he will. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
So when the game slows down for him, remember, the game hasn't slowed down for him yet. When the game slows down for him and RJ, oh my God. Don't trade anybody, not them guys. Leave those guys, keep those guys, man.
Yo, here's the thing about IQ, man. I've been saying, like, is he a point guard? I've been saying that. Is he a point guard? I don't know. He's just a shooter. No, my man's a point guard. All right. And there's also this argument that I've even been having myself about, primary initiators versus secondary initiators. And I've always been like, well, maybe he's somewhere in between. But when you think about like what primary initiators are, right? You thinking, all right, well, he can make something out of nothing because he has the hands to break some things, break a person down.
Mm-hmm.
And I always felt like, well, maybe he's not that because you don't see him really doing some Kyrie handle stuff. But what he does is he just draws fouls when we're in trouble. So it's like it's the same.
That's some Kyrie handle stuff. What game was it? It was either the Thursday game or the Friday game. He put some Kyrie handles on somebody. I was like, oh,
his handles are tight.
He broke out his back. I was like, man, wait.
And that's the other thing I was about to get at, Raw. To me, I'm like, mate, his handles are pretty tight. Is it just that he doesn't want to because he feel like it's a waste of energy, and he just feels like it's more efficient to just call for the pick or to draw the foul? Or he just can't. Because now, looking at him and knowing how much of a gym rat he is, I'm like, I feel like he could if he wanted to. He just chooses to just draw the foul because he's just thinking about bailing out the team and going to his strengths all the time.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. He's a high, no pun, but he's a high IQ player. So it is more efficient for him to call for the pick. It's more efficient because now you got an option. You got the guy that's running the pick. You got somebody cutting off the ball, and you got your own. And he sees all of that. When you can see, he sees all of that. And then with that deadly runner, that little floater from the foul line, this guy's gonna be a problem. We got one. We definitely got one.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him starting this year, man. I'm not. When he takes over, he's not giving it up. That's it. Once you give him the ball, he's gonna have that car for 10 years. That's it. So
So you're,
I'm not
you're
worried about
saying
it.
you're just
Yeah.
patient. When he starts,
Yeah.
he starts. And
when he starts, he
Exactly.
starts. Right now, he starts. If he starts, he starts. If he doesn't, he doesn't. This is his rookie year. Because I know it's like you got some. You're trading coins, and you got one worth $1 million. You just go hold on to it. Don't worry about it. Put it into because that's what we got. We got something right here.
if that's how you feel,
Yeah.
that's how I feel. I just go ahead, Ryan.
No, all I was saying is that, well, first and foremost, like the fact that he thinks, the fact that he said Dame's one of his favorite players in the NBA, I feel like that's a very good thing because I see him as in the mold of a scoring point guard.
Right.
And if you're gonna really mold your game after anybody in the NBA, Dame is one prime example of one of the top scoring point guards in the NBA that you would model your game afterwards. So I like that fact. And my thing with the whole IQ starting thing is like, look, to me, it's like you have to try to like see how the pieces fit together. Like, okay, Elfrid Payton, right? Does he mesh better with that first unit, or would you want to see him with that second unit? I don't think Elfrid Payton fits with that second unit the way IQ fits with that second unit. So it's like, to me, it's like, okay, you want IQ to start badly, I get it. It's like, yeah, IQ should be starting, but at the same time, it's like, you still got Payton there, and it's like, look, you have to just fit the pieces in together the way they fit. Payton probably fits better with that first unit. IQ fits better with that second unit. And to me, it's like, it doesn't matter to me who starts. It's like, as long as IQ's out there finishing games, I can live with them coming off the bench in the in the first quarter, whatever the case may be.
Not only that, I like it. Like if you saw the game against Golden State, you want Payton out there on Curry 3/4 court. That's what you want until IQ is ready. You don't want IQ going out there and picking up 3 fouls because he's trying to guard Stephen Curry. So you want him to bring him along, gradually. And so I like Payton. That's 6 fouls. He's a good defender. I don't know what somebody quotes him, but I don't see who says Payton is a good defensive player, man. He can play defense. So that's why Thibodeau has him out there. So if you get that, you got 6 fouls. You got a guy that you can put on the other team's best player, and you could bring IQ off and let him attack. He is killing second units, man.
Yo.
So just let him keep doing it.
I'll just say this. I would definitely be having a parade if IQ ever starts. I'm hoping he starts by the fake All-Star break, because it's not gonna be a game. So I'm hoping by then.
Wait, the NBA is considering it. They're considering it.
Are they?
Yeah, they're considering it. Yeah, news came
Randall,
out.
let's go, Randall. Show him what you got.
Are they considering playing again?
Yeah, they're considering it.
Okay.
I mean, I would be honestly glad to see his name on the All-Star roster. I don't care if they play. Just give me the All-Star roster with Julius Randle's name. And I'm happy.
That'd be dope. I'm with it. But yeah, I'll say if he's starting by that time, I'd be very happy. And if he's not, and I keep saying this on the show, I feel repetitive, but if you're not going to start him, which I would prefer, if you're not going to start him, Tom, just please, just pull the hook quicker. Pull the hook quicker. If Elfrid Payton is playing defense and the guy is still scoring 15 for 15, and then on the other end they're playing zone defense for the entire quarter.
Yeah. No, I hear you, but he's not. I'm gonna tell you, I would be frustrated if I thought like you, because I know he's not gonna do that. I would be frustrated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's not gonna do that.
That's what I'm saying.
The only way you're gonna see IQ start this year is either Payton is hurt or the bottom falls out, and it makes no sense to keep him in the starting line.
Yeah.
But if they're going to play 500 ball and they're playing 500 ball, Payton is going to start. If we go to playoffs and they play 500 ball to get there, Payton is going to start. That's going to happen. The only way unless Payton is hurt. Now next year, it's going to be IQ's going. It's going to be his game. This year, because next year they can't trade. They can't trade Payton. What you going to do? They can't trade
unless he wants to go.
And he doesn't.
Here's my biggest gripe with Payton this year. Ryan.
Yo, I don't care what you say.
I know you're okay. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know it's coming.
I don't think Payton's wrong with that play.
Roll the tape.
I don't think he's wrong with that play.
What?
Okay, Roy. There was a particular play that I was pissed, and you can tell I was pissed because I was on the Knicks Fan TV live, and you saw my live pissed reaction.
Oh,
to this
sure.
play. So it was like, I was like, oh my. Okay, IQ would never. All right, first and foremost. All right. So first, remember what I talked about earlier that the people who stopped Alec Burks was Tom Thibodeau and Elfrid Payton. Alec Burks. There was a stint where Alec Burks was going off. He was hitting threes. He hit 3 shots in a row. Julius Randle, I don't put the clip right here. Julius Randle is going down the lane. He attracts like 3 Portland Trailblazers. His back is to Alec Burks, so you couldn't really pass him the ball. He swings the ball to Elfrid Payton, and Payton is like a few feet behind the 3-point line. Alec Burks, to me and to most people, is open by the 3-point line on the top of the wing. His man is around the foul line. Who's supposed to be guarding him? He's around the foul
Payton
line.
could have gotten the ball.
Payton could have got him the ball.
But Payton took the shot.
Payton took the shot. And
I remember
I screamed.
I did too. I did too. See, you know what? I was kind of shocked. But Thibodeau, if you remember, they had Thibodeau mic'd up. He said, if you're open, take the shot.
Thank you. That is my whole point. Thank you.
It is a bad shot.
It's not a bad shot.
It wasn't the right
It's not a
basketball
bad shot.
play. No, but I hear you, though, Jay. It wasn't the right basketball play. If you're a smart point guard,
and
your shooter's going off on here, you want to give him the ball. But Thibodeau was just about screaming, if you're open, shoot the shot. That's what he said.
And that's my whole point.
Wide open. He had to shoot.
That's my whole point. Because here's my whole thing. When Payton got the ball, there's nobody around him. Nobody, period. And my thing is like, at least with Burks, okay, Burks was open, but you have Dame there, at least keep an eye on man and ball. If Payton passes the ball to Burks, it's not a sure thing that's not a contested shot. You don't know if they would have closed out on him or not. So my thing is like, okay, Payton is wide ass open. You take that shot because he's wide open. Nobody's around him.
Yeah, but you know what it is though? Ryan? They want Payton to be open.
You're open for a reason.
No, I'm saying
but my thing is,
if you see Payton wide open, that's purposely done. They want him open.
But my whole thing is that what you want Payton to pass of every single open shot?
He can't, and that's what Thibodeau is saying. Thibodeau is saying, we want you to shoot because at least be a threat to shoot.
That's what I'm saying.
So he has to shoot, but it's not like Portland accidentally left Payton wide open. They're gonna leave him wide open.
And this is what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. There were situations where Payton is open, and they're leaving him open, and you know they want him to shoot it because that's the game plan. If he shoots it, then I'm not gonna like it, but I'm not gonna scream on him because like it's the correct basketball play to shoot that shot if they're gonna lay off of you that much. Now, in this instance, as a point guard, if the man just finished hitting 3 shots in a row, the momentum is swinging back in your direction. You haven't hit a shot all game. Why would you take the shot 3 feet from behind the 3-point line?
You're right. You're right. No, it's like that game when Rivers was hot.
He's not even and even looking at the body language of Dame during that quote unquote defense.
Right.
Dame was standing straight upright. He wasn't running. His back was halfway turned to Alec Burks, even though he was close to the vicinity. He was around the foul line and not even hardly looking at the kid. Like he was being lazy.
Dame was resting on the play, but Dame is keeping an eye on man and ball. He would have ran out regardless.
Have you seen Alec Burks head fake and shoot threes this season?
Yeah, no. You're talking about ifs and buts though. You're talking about ifs and buts though. We don't know if Burks would have faked them out when they were running towards him. You don't know that.
No, have
you seen the games earlier this season with Alec Burks and the time he needs to get off a shot? I'm saying
what J. Ellis is saying, if I may paraphrase, but he said like earlier this year when Rivers scored 23, when he was hot, when Julius Randle got the ball in the spot that he would normally shoot, he was looking for Rivers. He was purposely looking for because he knew he was hot.
Right.
So J. Ellis, you're saying, well, if this man just hit 3 in a row and I'm the point guard and I know he's hot, I'm going to look for him.
I'm giving him the ball.
But at the same time, if you just got off the bench and your coach yelled at you and said, if you're open, shoot, You got a decision to make. Like, you got to.
That's a simple decision to me as a point guard.
I don't know, but because
That's
you
what
heard
I'm
what he
saying.
said. You heard what if you heard the press conference from a couple of days ago. Payton said, "Well, we do what Tom says because we don't want him to yell at." He said that. He said so. They just got off the bench and Thibodeau just in your face saying, "If you're open, shoot."
In general, if you look at Elfrid Payton's stats this season in general, his assist numbers have drastically dropped. Drastically dropped. He has been ignoring shooters the entire season.
He's only averaging 4 assists a
The
game.
entire season.
He's been ignoring shooters, but I'm like, in that case, I do not blame him for taking a shot. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not blaming him for taking the shot.
I'm blaming him for taking the shot.
He's wide open. I mean, he was wide open.
That's what I'm saying.
He was in the corner. I remember he was wide open.
He's wide open.
He gotta take that
to
shot.
me, if I'm about winning, and my teammate is getting off, here's the ball.
They were about half. Portland was about half a step from a defensive 3 seconds because they all left it wide open and paid over toward the other side.
Yeah, and we had just hit 3 in a row. They looked debilitated on defense. They wasn't even trying. Like they were just kind of like.
Okay, here's my question. All right,
was called right after that. So
all right. Here's my question though. Here's my old point. Say that wasn't Payton. Say that was anybody else. Would you get on them for not passing the ball to Burks?
Yes.
And they took that open shot.
Yes. Yes.
Nah.
If Quickley's taking that 3, you gonna get on Quickley for taking that 3?
Quickley wouldn't take the 3. Quickley would pass it.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Let me tell you something.
Oh my God! Nah.
And you can read this on Twitter. And you can read. Time out. No, time out. Time out before you get excited. I take this exact thing to this guy on Twitter because he asked the exact same question or something similar. Here's what I said. If you are going to make the incorrect basketball play at the moment, you better make that shot. If you know you're not a shooter,
incorrect though.
No, especially if you know you're not a shooter. If you make the incorrect basketball play, if your man just hit 3 in a row and you've been bricking all day and your man is open and the coach also preaches pass up a good shot for a great shot. Julius Randle seems to get that, but Elfrid Payton hasn't gotten it all season.
Now, but wait a minute, Jay, the play I'm thinking, right? If I'm thinking correctly now, if I remember now, EP was on the right side of the court, and Julius passed. Julius back, like you said, was to Burke. So he passed the ball. Now, I would agree with you if Burke was like 3/4, like on that side of the court, and there was just a swing pass. But he would have to pass the ball. But he had to pass the ball over the defense.
No, there was no defense. That's what I'm saying. There was no defense there.
I thought, if I remember correctly, Burke was on
the closest play. Mitchell Robinson was closer to Alec Burks than freaking Dame was.
On the left side of the 3-point line. Like if you're looking straight at the basket, Payton was on the right side of the court, and Burke was a little off center on the left side of the court. Like Burke wasn't right next to him.
Where the 3-point line corners, that turn?
Yeah.
He was at the edge of that, but not on the foul line side, but a little bit.
Yeah,
he was in that corner area.
I mean, it wasn't a difficult pass, but it wasn't as. To me, like I would, it'd be a no-brainer if Burke is standing right next to me and I get the ball here and I could just swing it to him and he's right next to me. But if I got to pass it over somebody,
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't over anybody.
Or it over Dame. He had to pass over Dame.
Dame was by the foul line.
I gotta look at the play. I gotta see that play again because I thought Dame's back was kind of halfway toward Payton, and he did not see Burke all the way. That's what I thought.
There was a clear path. My whole thing is that I feel like Dame was not far off enough to where that would have been an uncontested shot.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If it was an uncontested shot and he just needs to give it to Burke, and Burke got the same uncontested shot EP got. Okay, I say he should have passed. But if it wasn't quite like that, remember they got a split second to make this decision. My
thing was Alec Burks just hit 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And Dame, he wasn't sprinting. Right. He was walking. He was
resting.
Exactly. Because I feel like that's the point when the game started to swing and you know what happens when a team starts to score consecutively?
Yeah.
Body language starts to change.
Yeah, because now you make 4 stops in a row and they starting to come.
That was the body language of Dame on the court. He didn't have that look like I'm attentive. I'm going to try to steal the ball. He was like, oh damn, well they about to get that's the look that he had on his face. So I'm just like, that's
I can't kill AP for that though.
I'm killing him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
a split
sorry.
second. That's a split second, decision. And his coach just was telling him, shoot if you're open. He's gonna shoot the ball. He was wide open. He was wide.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I agree with you. I yell at the TV too because I like they want you to shoot. They want you to shoot every time. But he had to take the shot. I mean, I know he had to take it. And Thibodeau said, if you're open, take the shot.
And my whole thing is like, I know Elfrid Payton has had this problem all season where he's not passing the open shooter when they're available. But I feel like there was somebody in the Twitter comments and they had 2 other examples. I feel like those were better examples because Payton, there's actually people around Payton, and Payton forced up the shot when there was somebody who was wide open in the corner, whatever the case may be. I thought those were better examples. But I was like, this example, I'm like, I can't kill Payton for taking a wide open shot when nobody's around him. You gotta take that.
There was nobody within 3 feet of him. He had to take the shot.
I don't think he had to.
I mean, he's not. It would have looked pretty bad though, Jay. If he turned the ball over right there and he had a wide open shot, he might have got pulled. He definitely heard from Thibodeau on it. He's not gonna hear from you. He's not gonna hear from you. But you're right. I mean, he's only averaging 4 goals and 4 assists, so he's not really, he's not really doing what he's like a guy like a triple double or whatever. But he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a heated discussion. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Is it Randall leading the Knicks in assists?
Yeah, I think Randall. Yeah,
Randall is leading the Knicks in assists. Right now, he's at, I think he's like sliding though. It's like 6.7.
Yeah, last couple games,
something like that. 6.7 points a game. I think his 3 points is sliding a little bit too. In general, he hasn't been as efficient, and I'm wondering if it has to do with him getting tired or not. But yeah,
I think they're keying him. Yeah. They know he's the guy. So. That's part of being the man, man. He got to handle that.
Hopefully he gets like a second win at some point, and he'll be able to get his field goal percentage up to what it was a little bit earlier.
I tell you what, though, he looks a lot happier now than in the beginning. Of the season.
Oh my gosh, he's smiling at post games.
He was like that guy from the Avengers, man. He was like Thanos, man. He was like that. Then all of a sudden now, he's smiling and laughing and stuff. I said, oh man, Julian gets it.
Oh man, yeah, you're right about that. All right. Well, that was our show, man. That was our show. Good talk, guys. We have a game coming up. Utah Raw says we winning this way.
Let's get this W, baby. We ready to go.
What do you think, Ryan? WL, how you feel you coming out, man?
Ooh, oh boy. I'm gonna keep the positive vibes in the air. I'm gonna keep the positive vibes. Yeah,
somebody got to break that winning streak.
That's what I'm saying. They do. They do,
man.
They do.
Let them sleep on us. And we spank them.
Yeah,
man. I hope I'll be surprised the Knicks when I really hope they do though, yo. It's really hard to beat a team twice that you just beat because they have that like I remember last time.
Yeah.
But it's funny though because they said that the Jazz haven't lost since they lost to the Knicks. So it's like why not? So it's like hey. Why not? I'm like, hey, why not? Why not be the ones that encourage them? Exactly. Like we encourage the winning streak. So let's end the winning streak. Let's win it.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Snatch their heart. That's what I'm saying. Snatch their heart, man. Shoot.
I'm with it. All right, there it is, guys. Man, I hope you enjoyed our show. Listen, you know where to find us, man. Knick and Time Show on YouTube. YouTube.com/Knick and Time Show. Also, catch us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and all that noise. Raw, where can they find you, Raw?
They can find me at Raw Hebrew Remnant on YouTube. Raw Hebrew Remnant. Just plug that in. You'll find me. And Raw WHHBRWRMNANT Raw Hebrew Remnant on Twitter.
All right. And also, you know what? Find us on the KLT Show as well.
Definitely.
Check out the writings and the blogs and check out the merch and all that noise. And you can find me too on Jealous Draws Things on Instagram if you want to. I don't know why you would. I hardly post. But then sometimes I post for like a good 3 or 4 days strong and then you won't see me for a week or 2. But if you want to, hey, you might as well go ahead. All right. Yeah. Where can they find you, Ryan?
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN. And you can also find me on Twitter at Sir_G is best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I actually gained some followers today. I'm assuming people saw me and you going at it over this play, and some people were like, you know what, I'm gonna follow him. So I'm like, hey.
Yeah, and somebody suggested they follow. I've been telling you, Ryan. I've been telling everybody. Man, y'all don't listen to me. I'm like, yo, Twitter. Knicks Twitter is popping. You thought Instagram is popping? Knicks Twitter is popping, man. Come play with us.
It's popping.
Actually, follow us on Knicks Twitter, the KOT show on Knicks Twitter, man.
Word.
For sure. All right, man. Good talk, guys.
All right, man.
Oh, one more thing. Rest in peace, Hawthorne Wingo.
Oh yeah, former Knick on that 72-73 championship Knicks team. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did see that. Yeah, definitely rest in peace. Rest in peace, fellow Knicks legend. All right, that is our show.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.